Welcome back, everybody, to the Nevin Shapiro Show. I'm Mike Torado. I'm back with Nevin Shapiro. And today we're going to do a full breakdown of the Miami Pro Day that just came out a few days ago. We're going to get into all the people that contributed to Miami in 2024 that were the big contributors. And obviously, we're going to end the video with a Russell Wilson signing with the Giants and clear up that for everybody. Also, as you can see here, we have a shirt, and Nevin would like to share a little bit on what this is going to be.
So Mike's going to figure out how we do a raffle giveaway. It is the most unsexy. When they call you big sexy, they are certainly not referring to this jersey. I couldn't tell you who it was, what he did, or what his role was, but he had a jersey. How I acquired it, I couldn't even tell you. It was somewhere in the journals of time on the journey. It's not sexy, but it's a hurricane jersey, and it's an official one.
And it's game worn.
It's game worn, and the guy on the back of it, he could be doing anything in life right now. I couldn't tell you. He could be a janitor, or he could be the CEO of a massive Fortune 500 company. But you could have his jersey.
I'm thinking maybe 250 or 500 subscribers. We're going to throw it in, though, but please subscribe. We're dropping videos every week. I don't know what you're doing if you're not subscribed by now. And without further ado, let's get into the action. Now, we're going to start with the one that's been the biggest controversy so far. It's a personal friend of mine, Xavier Restrepo.
Yeah.
He ran a 4.8 in the 40. There was a lot of people that had been giving him hate about it. Then he came out and said that he pulled a hamstring. Just wanted to get your thoughts and feedback on him.
Yeah, so I've been in this position personally with a former UM player. I'll leave his name out. It doesn't matter. He went very, very high, and he had a horrible 40 the first time. I don't like to point fingers. I know who his agent is, Drew Rosenhaus, and I know Drew a long time, but Drew's a well-established, great agent. But I think that was a really bad move that he let him run. I don't know why would you let him run, especially if he has a hamstring injury. Supposedly, that's what he came out and said. I like Xavier Restrepo a lot. I think he's been just incredible for Miami. He didn't come in as a very heralded 4 or 5 star, but he grinded and he left as the all-time leading receiver. But when you get to the NFL, it's a different level of translation of talent. And I don't know. I think he really hurt his stock considerably. I think he's a really good ball player, but NFL teams draft picks are like lottery tickets, man. They're really, it doesn't matter if you're a fifth rounder, those picks matter. They really, really matter because you got, how many universities and how many players that are eligible. So there's only so many guys that are going to get drafted. And I think that was it's an unfortunate break for him. And do you reschedule a time for him and get him a personal workout? I don't know. What if he does horrible? So I used my example. The person that I'm referring to ran a very poor 40 in Indianapolis, but I was able to see that he, through my associations, got a rerun, and he ran himself into the first round. This is a factual statement that I witnessed. But we knew he had an issue and he shouldn't have ran. But he was going unadvised, and that's why you have advisors. You should.
Right. 100%.
Yeah. So I hope he probably cost himself a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm almost certain of it.
What do you think his projection is now if you had to give him a projection?
I couldn't even begin to tell you. I was here in second round, but I think that was very optimistic, to be honest. He's not, he's a route runner. He'll get open. He's a money maker. He's a guy that a quarterback's going to find, but he's not going to freak out a defense for sure.
Right.
He reminds me very much of a guy like Braxton Berrios.
Yeah.
If I was making a comparison, you got to be very careful to make a comparison to a Wes Welker who was dynamite, and Julian Edelman ran a 4.340. So that's not a fair comparison in any way, shape, or form. And he used to be a quarterback, so they converted him to receiver. I don't know. I hope he does well because I'm a Xavier Restrepo fan, and I really, really like what he did when he was playing for the University of Miami.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Xavier, if you're watching this, you know it's all love, man. You know I love you, man, and
Yeah.
I hope everything goes well. And I know who you are and how you've came up through this journey, and you're always been the underdog, and I still think you're gonna prove people wrong. I still do. Always will feel that
Yeah,
way.
no,
And
listen, listen, if you're a University of Miami fan for sure, you're pulling for
yeah,
this guy, man.
for
You want
sure.
him to make it. You want him to make it.
Absolutely. 100%. Sam Brown, we're going to get into Sam Brown now. And, he wasn't huge for us last year. He had 500 yards, two touchdowns. But he ran a 4.4 in the 40, and he had a 41.5-inch vertical jump. What do you think, as far as the next level goes?
I don't have enough intel on him from
Yeah,
my own eyes to really judge what kind of player he is because I think he really underproduced. But we had some really great receivers also. So was there some of that? You can only throw to one guy at a time. Those numbers don't lie. That league is based on speed. He's got the intangibles, certainly his speed and a vert. Someone's going to give him a shot. Just natural logistics. He can run and he can jump.
right.
So someone's going to give him a shot. And what he does with it, there's been plenty of guys, that have come up. I'm a Steeler fan. We just drafted this guy a few years ago, Dre Archer, out of, I think, Akron. The guy ran like a 4.2 40. He just couldn't make it. Doesn't
Right.
matter if you could fly. If you can't play, you can't play.
Right.
And
100%.
I use him as an example of a fast guy who just couldn't stick.
All right, so Jacoby George ran a 4.6 in the 40 on pro day. The feedback from the scouts were they liked the way he had separation during the season, and they liked the way he ran during pro day other than his 40 time. So what's your assessment on him at the next level?
He's a really good receiver in college. This year he was exceptionally good, solid. But is it Shannon Dawson's offense? I liken it to like what a Spurrier offense used to be, receivers just running wide open, which is a testament to Shannon Dawson. But Kobe George had a great year. I don't know. It's just such a crapshoot. Some guys are just so dominant. They're gonna be incredible. You look at a guy like Jeremiah Smith, potentially Josiah Trader. Like I see guys, and you know they're gonna be that guy. Jacoby George, can you say he's gonna be that guy? I don't know. He's really solid. Had a good college career, specifically last year. I hope he makes it. Hard to pinpoint. I don't know. He's a fifth round guy, I think. Fourth round, maybe.
Let's go into Elijah Arroyo. Elijah Arroyo did not run the 40 due to a knee injury. Do you still feel he's a first round pick? And what are your thoughts of him at the next level?
I love him. He's my two guys that I think are incredible value draft picks are Elijah Arroyo and Damian Martinez. I love both those guys. The offensive line and that stuff, and when you start getting into those guys, I'm not so I'm not really like a nose for those guys. I don't certain guys are gonna be dominant. But I look at like those guys, the skill set guys. I think Elijah Arroyo, is he a first round pick? I can't say. I know he's a first round talent. Is he a first round pick? I don't know. Whoever gets him's getting a really great tight end built for the NFL game. There's no doubt. I love him. I've always liked him. And when you can't stay healthy, you don't get a chance to showcase your skill set. And the running back Martinez, I like a lot. I think he just runs angry, and I just think he's going to be really good. I like those two guys a lot. Those are my two that I'm looking at. I'm looking forward from my own vantage point to see how they do next level.
I mean, Damien was going to be the next one on the
Yeah,
list
I
here.
love him.
So
I love him. He's
he
I
ran a
love.
4.5.
Yeah, he runs tough, man.
Yeah.
He reminds me of this kid Pacheco out of Kansas
Yeah.
City. He runs
And
like
he's
that.
bigger than Pacheco.
He reminds me of that guy.
Yep.
And Pacheco was virtually a nobody coming in, and he came to the league and ran hard and stuck. And I like Martinez's game a lot for the
Yeah.
NFL.
What impressed me about him is at 217 pounds, he ran a 4.5 and he had a 35-inch vertical. I mean, that's really,
I like him a
it's
lot.
amazing at that
Both
weight.
those guys. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's move on to Mish Powell. Another guy that really did not have a good 40. He ran a 4.7 at DB. With that kind of speed, do you feel how do you feel about him at the next
They better put
level?
him in. They better put him in the nickel
Yeah.
package because you're not running 4.7 against those guys.
No.
Those guys ride, man. It takes one split. Goodbye. I don't know. Hope he does well. I don't. I know he played at Washington.
Yeah.
Was solid, and I heard some good things about him. I was trying to follow some of these players like on the X feed, but when you follow the University of Miami guys that cover them, you're just getting Kool-Aid 24/7. It's just not realistic. You want them to all do well, but let's be practical. University of Miami is not the only school participating in the draft combine.
Last few guys, we're gonna go Tyler Barron. So Tyler Barron at 260 pounds ran a 4.62 and at a 35.5 inch vertical. Very impressive at that weight. How do you see him panning out in the NFL?
He came in with a lot of hype. He's got a huge upside. He's got a huge upside. A lot of times, that situation is determined by who's also playing inside of you, right?
Yeah,
Taking on double teams and whatnot. But I look at him and I see like probably a shorter Greg Rousseau,
I like that.
right? And Greg Rousseau just re-signed for a big number.
He got paid.
Yeah, I like Tyler. I mean, I think he's where he gets drafted. It's not so much where you get drafted; it's sticking and getting that second contract.
Absolutely.
That's where it's at.
Jalen Rivers, my favorite tackle on that offensive line. I really like him a lot. He ran
Mm-hmm.
a 5.2 at 320 pounds and a 9 foot broad jump. Very
Yeah,
impressive. How do you see him doing in the NFL?
he has been he's been solid and he's been consistent at Miami, and those are two attributes you want in an offensive lineman. Mario puts out. He's an offensive lineman. He builds those guys, and Alex Mirabal. They do a great job at that. No question. No one could. I mean, that's where they started recruiting as soon as he got there, and they don't stop. They just keep. They know he knows where the game's won. It's one of the trend. It ain't the skill guys. Those guys are important, but you need those dudes in the tier. That's why Miami hasn't been back yet because they have not plugged that interior hole
Yep.
for years.
They're doing great on the offensive side. Now that defensive line
It's
side
imperative. You need
needs
three,
to
four,
be.
five guys in
Yep.
there rotating and let them just murder each other for reps.
Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, listen, the University of Miami has now they're starting to get the right looks at pro day. And, for all that I do go at Mario for his record production, I also give credit for where it's due. And he's changed the talent level significantly in that program.
Yep.
It's become a University of Miami event again for pro day, where it should be.
Absolutely. So the last guy we're going to get into before we go to Cam Ward, Andy Borgalis, had 86% accuracy. He didn't run the 40, but
He doesn't
why would
need
he
to.
need to? Yeah, why would he need to?
Does he need to do anything?
So,
Like
um,
kickers, they kick. That's it.
yeah,
Unless you're, a punter and Sean Taylor's coming down the highway, right?
yeah, that was so
But like
bad.
Andy Borgalis, like I don't know. I thought his brother would be an NFL. I thought he was excellent. He beat us when he was at FIU, like from like 50 something yards. Like I would think that he would have been great. I would think the same thing for Andy Borgalis. I don't know. I'll defer to you.
Yeah,
I don't know. He looks. I mean, he was really good, man. He's consistent, solid,
I
this and
know.
that. Like I don't know what more you can be. But how does it translate into the NFL? I don't know. Is there a difference? I
He
like him.
he reminds me of a Matt Bosher.
Yeah.
That's what he reminds me of.
I mean,
And I
listen.
hope he has a career like Matt Bosher. Matt Bosher had a great NFL
Yeah. I
career.
mean, listen. Good luck.
Yeah, I know. It's a
Good
it's
luck.
it's a hard name to live up to for
Yeah.
sure.
I couldn't
You know.
handicap that for you in any way, shape, or
Yeah.
form.
All right. I'm sure the moment everyone's been waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Ward.
Yeah.
He did not run a 40. Obviously, also doesn't need to.
Let's skip past all this. Let me just get
Yeah.
into it. Listen,
So,
Cam Ward had an incredible workout. I go back to what I said. I guaranteed that the New York Giants would select him. Also did so with them having the number one pick. I've done nothing wrong other than nail it. I've nailed it. Cam Ward was the number one pick. Nobody had him called as the number one pick. The New York Giants lost. They tried desperately, desperately, up until yesterday, I know for certain, to still trade for Cam Ward. They're actually meeting with Cam Ward on Sunday. Okay? So, for all the information I don't have, here's the information. They're meeting with Cam Ward on Sunday. They wanted him. They wanted him. That never changed. It never wavered. The Giants won a game. That changed everything. Tennessee cock blocked the situation. They wanted a Trey Lance type of haul, like San Francisco was forced to give up to get Trey Lance. That didn't work out well. But they wanted 3 first-round picks, or still do. Their asking price is crazy. And the Giants blew that situation by winning the game. People can yell at me from the rooftops. I nailed it. Dead set. And Shannon Dawson potentially was going to go with Cam Ward. I don't change that narrative. I can't help that they decided to win a game that was meaningless. Can I?
No.
No, I mean, did I not call it? Cam Ward was not the unanimous. Cam Ward wasn't the number one pick in the draft when I made this statement. I'm looking at everyone's mock drafts now on TikTok and Instagram, and oh yeah, Cam Ward's the number one. Make the call before. Don't make the call after everyone says he's the lock. I called it when December 10th. Who wants to dispute it? I don't care. Just come up with proof. Show me. Don't talk, this guy don't know what he's talking about. I'm dealing directly with the Giants personnel department. I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. I know who I'm talking to. Should I give my sources up? Why would I?
Yeah.
Why would I?
It's unnecessary.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
Do you think the Giants really wanted Russell Wilson?
That was going to be the last question. But
well,
yeah,
let me ask.
yeah,
Let me answer it
yeah.
for you before you even ask. Do you think they wanted Russell Wilson? Did they want Jameis Winston? They wanted someone who was going to come in there with some veteran leadership because Tommy DeVito is a Dorito. He sucks. I don't even know how that guy's a fucking NFL quarterback. He sucks. He fucking sucks. And his agent running around like a... Come on.
Yeah.
You know, like this is what it is. Like this Cam Ward discussion gets me hot because I'm a huge Cam Ward fan, as you know. And he lit up this pro combine, this pro day, and Tennessee's got this. This is it. They control the game. They're the first pick. And when you got the first pick, you listen to everything. Is he a lock to go to Tennessee? From everything I'm being told, yes. That's why the Giants had to go make the move.
Yeah.
But I wasn't wrong.
Right.
I mean, Mike, was I wrong?
Not
What?
at
No,
all.
tell me, was I wrong?
No, you called it before.
Cam Ward is the number one pick in the draft. He
Yeah.
was not the number one pick in the draft when I said this.
Yep.
He was a top 15 to 20 pick. 15 to 20 was his range.
Yeah.
And that's it. I stand on it.
I remember when you dropped it, I even said to myself, I'm like, man, if he doesn't go first overall, like you're going to get a lot of backlash for it. So you put your balls on the line there.
I do. I've done it before in my life.
Yeah.
I don't just spit like just to spit. Like you know where I'm getting you personally know where I'm getting my information from. Would you say it is solid?
You could.
The only closer I could be is if I'm in the room making the pick.
Yes. Yeah. It's right directly to the source. It's not sources. It is.
And I got
source.
and I got more
All
for
right.
Giants fans.
All right, let's hear it.
But I'm not going to share it.
Oh.
I'm not going to share it.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Will you eventually share it?
I'll see how I feel.
All right, guys. Well, that concludes our episode today. Before you guys leave, please drop that subscribe. Click that button real quick before you leave. And as always, we'll catch you on the next one.